So if you haven't heard, we're going to be getting our 4th delay next week. So, no new episode of God Eater. Let me do a quick meme real quick. Every delay gives me trauma. I think that's very appropriate. So, I think we could probably say, for now on, God Eater is going to have 2 episodes come out and then go on a delay. I feel like that is the scheduling of this series now, more I think about it. Because every time we get, let's say, a special, like an extra episode, it comes back for 2 episodes, and then it goes back on a delay with 1 week. So I feel like we have now switched over into a different type of scheduling for God Eater. But at the very least, I just want to let you all know if you're unaware of the delays of God Eater for next week. Now anyways, this episode of God Eater, we have it to where Lenka actually develops a lot, actually. Yeah, Lenka, our main male character, he actually uses his noggin. He uses his brain he was born with instead of just rushing in and trying to kill the Origami, which is a huge improvement compared to his character from the beginning of the series. So let's, do a little bit of notes to actually his character. See, at the start of the series, around episode 1 and episode 2, Lenka was a type of character that would run in and almost kill everybody in the process. For instance, he would kill his own squad members. He wouldn't purposely do it, but his actions would probably kill his entire squad. And now, when you look at this episode, because of Lindo's words and how he's developed in these past couple episodes, he's learned to use his brain instead of just rushing in to fight. So this episode was a very good episode to showcase development for Lenka, our main male character. So good job, Lenka, for actually using that noggin and being able to kick some Origami ass this week. Now, I want to talk about Alisa, okay? Alisa has a fan service scene in this episode, and I feel like it was about time to see a scene like that, because I know for a fact there is a lot of you Chibits that have mentioned for many weeks since Alisa's introduction that everybody says, like, oh my god, we need more, Alisa underboob and stuff like that. I've seen some actually say that. Yes, I've seen you Chibits say, like, oh my god, that underboob. So I think Ufotable answered the calls of the people that wanted to see more Alisa fan service, and so they gave us a bath scene in this week's episode. And yeah, I'm willing to bet many were excited about that scene. Besides that, though, what I'm really interested in is the mentality of Alisa. See, as we found out last week, Alisa is a little girl that is in over her head with this huge issue to where she's trying to kill Origami, but, she has this trauma to where she can't really get and move past it. And kind of with this episode, once again, it goes to show you that Alisa is having this huge issue right now. Like, she's so traumatized, she can't do shit. Like, she is very strong. Like, we saw her when she had her introduction on the plane, she was kicking fucking ass. Like, we saw how good she was as a fighter. And seeing her in this state, especially once again in this episode, it just makes me feel sorry or pity for her, because her reactions to how, like, she starts getting out of the bathtub when, like, she sees the Origami coming, she just crawls like a fucking toddler into a wardrobe closet. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, she really is traumatized beyond belief. I mean, I knew it with last week's episode, but just seeing how she reacted in this episode, there's going to need a lot of work to get her to move past this issue, because, I mean, this trauma is rooted into her very being. For instance, like, since she was very young as a child, this trauma has been there. And it's going to be hard to get something like this out of her system, and I wonder how it is, because right now, Alisa, as a character, she's kind of useless. Like, I like her situation because it adds a different dynamic to God Eater, and I want to see where it goes. But thinking about it as the grand scope of things when it comes to other characters, Alisa is useless. She is. I mean, right now, she's pretty much a child. She's crying in a corner, weeping like a little baby. That's what she's doing. And for her to develop, she needs to move past this. And I wonder how God Eater's going to handle this with her character, because I have heard Alisa is one of the main characters of God Eater, especially when it comes to the games. So I wonder how her writing is going to be. For instance, how will she move past this issue with her past, and how will she develop? Will she become more stronger-willed? Will she let the trauma take her, and will she just go fucking insane? I mean, I have many questions about this, but for now, Elisa is kind of useless. She's only there kind of for the boobs. Yeah, for now. Just for now. But most likely next week's episode might focus more on her to where she can develop, because she's starting to prove that she's becoming a hindrance to the entire operation. So, we come to find out that there is trees. Trees that can be turned into origami. And that changes the ballgame of a lot of things, because now we know that Lindo has been going around and he's been caring for the people that Fenrir threw out. For instance, you know, the people like a couple of episodes ago that tried to come in Fenrir and they got thrown out because they couldn't be compatible with a god arc? Well, we come to find out Lindo has been leading them into this little section in the mountains where there's a forest, and he's putting this, like, origamis inside of trees to where these trees will attack origami that come near it. And that's kind of crazy if you think about it, because now we have, like, this automatic defense system that will attack anything that touches the trees, and so these regular normal humans have some form of protection. And I feel like the way this was introduced, especially with the trees and stuff, it's going to have more vital importance in the future of the series, because it wouldn't be kind of introduced like it was with the trees to how, you know, origami can be, like, inserted into other objects if it was not nothing really important a part of the series. So I feel like this aspect of the episode is one of the main important things we really need to carry over into a couple episodes from now, because most likely they will reappear once again. And another thing I want to mention is seeing Lenka fix his god arc with this serum, the origami serum. He puts it inside of his god arc and it fixes it, and his god arc actually gets like a new form, and it beats the shit out of that fucking origami in this episode. So I'm liking the new design. The new design looks really kick-ass, and I have to say, I wonder if those god arcs can evolve, because we have found out since origami are the oracle cells and they come together and they can, you know, reform and get stronger. I wonder if god arcs are the same way. Since they are origami, I wonder if they can, you know, evolve, get very strong, like stronger than Avadra and things like that. But that's just my theories. I'm just throwing stuff out there. And one thing I want to mention, which I failed to actually mention last week, and I don't know how I fucking forgot to mention it. Please slap me right now. But Chibi pointed out last week, and like I said, I forgot to mention it. Lenka was stabbed straight through the fucking back. Like, it was a couple episodes ago, or maybe last week. As we know, Lenka was stabbed in the fucking back. And how the fuck is he alive? Like, how? Okay, so I know he's part of the new generation of god arcs and god eaters, but how the fuck is he alive? Like, I mean, he hasn't gotten any medical treatment from what we can see. He still has blood on his damn shirt. Like, the entire episode, he still has blood on her shirt. Like, he has fucking blood on his shirt. That just goes to show you he hasn't changed clothes. He's still in the same attire that he got stabbed in. So, how the fuck is this dude alive? How? I mean, we have seen these weird veins appearing on him when he uses his god arc, and I'm assuming that his god arc is messing with his body. That's probably how he survived, but still, really need some explaining, because there's some just, like, questionable things with that. But that's about it. I mean, episode of God Eater, fucking great. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.